continuing to learn about feline nutrition from the Feline Nutrition Foundation archive on hair-today.com. I will put that link in the description. And we are teething too. I am a kittens. I plan on feeding them a raw cat food diet, but should I wait until they are older and have their permanent teeth to start them on small, meaty bone cuts? Can their baby teeth tackle chicken wings or necks? Often, we are asked about the special dietary requirements of cats. Ideally, your kittens should be raw cat food diet. We suggest that as soon as your kittens arrive, they should be introduced to raw meat bones. Get those little critters gnawing and chewing as soon as possible. It is so much easier than trying to transition them later. They provide a natural, highly digestible source of calcium. In raw bones, calcium can be up to 4 times more digestible than any supplement. Because the high levels of phosphorus in fresh meat need to be balanced by plenty of calcium, nature has perfected it. Calcium and phosphorus are present in perfect combination. No need for guesswork and formulations. When supplied with an adequate amount, a kitten will use exactly what it needs for growth, development, and excrete any excess. Raw bones also supply small amounts of cartilage, bone marrow, and minerals essential for healthy development. They hold plenty of roughage and have a good cleansing effect on the gastrointestinal tract, keeping anal glands regularly emptied. They are also integral to the development of healthy teeth and gums. Macerating the meat and bones massages the teeth and gums, clearing away food residue and preventing tartar formation. This massaging action is vital during the teething process. Many kittens fed a kibble-based diet have a terrible time at 4 to 5 months old with sore, inflamed gums as their new teeth break through. They become manic chewers of anything available. The chewing and tearing on raw meaty bones will help dislodge the baby teeth and allow normal progression of the adult teeth. All they need is a good source to get them comfortably. Qué bonita. Sí. ¿Hablas español? Este es mi gato, gata. Kittens develop their milk teeth, their baby teeth, at around 4 to 5 weeks old. At this age, they can tackle soft, macerated meat and bone pieces as well as minced meat and bone products. Sí. Hablo español un poquito. Kittens should be tackling raw meaty bones every day. Aprende español en mi escuela en Alaska para 3 años y trabajé con muchas personas latino. Hablo más bueno de es posible yo escuchar. All right. So for anybody who's listening to me, because my chat won't replay, and you're going to be like, to the chat. You can't go away because you're the star. You're the show. Please stay. Oh, yay, you're just getting comfortable on Mama. Oh, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right, let's start over. Um, oh, good. Kittens develop their milk teeth, their baby teeth, at around 4 to 5 weeks old. At this age, they can tackle soft, macerated meat and bone pieces, as well as minced meat and bone products. Kittens should be tackling raw, meaty bones every day. Introduce them as soon as they are weaned. It's a training ground. The kittens will have a go at them, and then Mum will finish them off. Kittens prefer rabbit bones, especially shoulders, as well as chicken wings and necks. Remember, it is important to provide bones that are full of meat so they are balanced nutritionally. Avoid cooked bones altogether as they will splinter and cause distress in the gastrointestinal tract. Note: Feline Nutrition provides feline health nutrition information as a public service. Diagnosis and treatment of specific conditions should always be in consultation with your own veterinarian, and disclaims all warranties and liability related to and information provided on this site. Dr. Lynn Thompson trained at the University of Bristol in England and is studying with the Australasian College of Nutritional and Environmental Medicine, a dedicated advocate of appropriate nutrition. Lynn practices in Auckland, New Zealand. Her raw essential stores have grown to 7 retail locations, providing a variety of raw diet products for cats and dogs. All right, let's find our next article. Oh, oh no, I lost reception and I don't know for how long. We're about your cat's acid stomach. I am new to feeding raw cat food. I read that one of the things that makes cats different from many other mammals is their highly acidic digestive systems. Why is having an acidic stomach important for cats? How does it help them? Stomach in order to properly digest food. Ultimately, carbohydrates found in many processed commercial cat food make the stomach less acidic. Wheat protein stimulates acidity of hydrochloric acid in acid-secreting cells. This cascade takes place when a cat ingests food. Put simply, 80% of the gastric juices secreted are a direct result of chemoreceptors in the stomach detecting the presence of meat-based proteins. This is at a very low pH, around 1 to 2. A low pH means high acidity. Low pH is important because digestive enzymes work best in an acidic environment. That acidity also neutralizes ingested pathogens, both bacterial and fungal. When a cat swallows a commercial pet food that is high in plant protein and low meat protein, acid-secreting cells in the stomach are not stimulated to produce much hydrochloric acid. The pH rises to around 5. That means pH, that high pH means low acidity. The acidic chyme, I don't know what that, let's see that word. CHYME. The acidic chyme leaving the stomach is the trigger for the next stage of digestion in the small intestine. The acidity encourages the flow of bile and pancreatic enzymes necessary to continue the digestive process. If the contents are not sitting at a pH of around 1 to 2, digestion is impaired through the rest of the digestive tract as well. What does this mean for cats as obligate carnivores? A diet high in carbohydrates inhibits stomach acidity. Raw food for cats, whether whole meats or ground, requires a highly acidic stomach for digestion. Cats should not be fed a combination of processed and raw foods, as they can experience a range of problems. They will struggle to properly digest their foods. They may become constipated with undigested bone spicules impacted in the rectum, which can be painful. Raw meaty bones can sit for long periods in the stomach, which may lead to vomiting bone or worse still, an obstruction. They may experience a gastrointestinal upset when the bacterial load of the ingested food runs riot in the alkaline environment. Gastric acidity is needed to sterilize ingested pathogens. Processed pet foods can be contaminated with some salmonella and mycotoxins. The gastric acidity is a first line of defense, making cats with reduced acidity vulnerable. If you are transitioning your kitty to a raw cat food diet, you may be feeding a combination for a short period of time. It is important to observe your cat carefully during this time and move as quickly as possible to a fully raw diet to lessen the risk of any adverse effects. And this was written by Dr. Lynn Thompson. All right. 11:53. What's the next article? Have we already read the one about eating bones? Hello, hello, party people. Okay, answers. Raw food for cats. What about eating bones? I don't think I read this one. I am new to feeding raw cat food, and I still feel a little uneasy giving my kitty meat with bones. Some of the food I feed her is ground, so the bones are in the mix. But I have been told it is good for a cat's dental health to eat meat pieces with bones in them. What should I feed her? What's safe to give her? Also, why do you recommend feeding bones over just using a calcium supplement? Cats are obligate carnivores. Cats living in the wild chase and kill small prey such as rodents, mice, squirrels, rabbits, reptiles, amphibians, birds, insects, and small fish. Feeding raw food for cats is our way of getting as close as is practical to a diet that they evolved to eat. If we were a cat eating their prey in the wild, we would see that the kitty eats feathers, flesh, bone, and intestines, head, tail. Do not digest and use. This way, Mother Nature makes sure cats get all the nutrients they need to thrive and live a healthy life. The bones presented in the prey contain nutrients in a perfect balanced way. Feed bones to cats well enough that your examples include chickens, corn and cuts, many cuts from small rabbits, and many poultry such as quail. You can also offer small whole prey to mice and chicks. Cats are not silly. Thoroughly to make sure the bone is suitable to chew on. How your cat attacks bones and make note of her next couple of bowel movements to see whether she actually if she is eating the actual bone. If the stools are bloody, if there is indigestion, discomfort, gas, vomiting, or bloating, or if there are shards of bone in the stool, then discontinue feeding whole bones. If your cat is constipated, you may need to reduce the amount of bones you are feeding. Never cook or wave the bones. Doing so can cause the bones to making them sharp with the possibility of puncturing the intestinal system. This could cause internal bleeding, constipation, rectal bleeding, and blockages in the gastrointestinal system. Raw bones and oral health. When you feed a cat bone-in cuts of meat, such as chicken wings or necks, the cat has to use its side teeth to chew and cut the meat into pieces small enough to swallow. This vigorous use of the side teeth help to keep the teeth clean, the gums stimulated, and the jaws exercised. This is not only beneficial to their dental health, but also helps to keep them mentally stimulated. Keeping the teeth and gums healthy is important because infection or disease in the mouth can affect other parts of the body. The importance of calcium. Calcium is the most abundant mineral in the body. By the time you see symptoms of a calcium deficiency, your cat has often been calcium deficient for months or years. That is why it is so important that everyone who has their kitten on a raw food program be sure their animal is getting a sufficient level of this important nutrient. Early signs of calcium deficiency can include restlessness, stiffness, weakness, irritability, muscle tremors, and hypersensitivity to touch and sound. More advanced signs of a calcium deficiency include arthritis, skin and coat problems, broken and or bent pasterns. What's a pastern? Interesting. Weak. Oh, it's the part of the leg of an animal, if other than an equine, which is horse, that corresponds to the part of the foot extending from the fetlock to the top of the hoof. Okay. Weak, easily injured ligaments, broken bones, patella luxation, come on. Nope, it's not highlighting for me. Oh, dislocation of an anatomical part. Severe pain, most often in feet, legs, or hips, heart problems such as arrhythmias, constipation, diarrhea, incontinence and kidney, bladder and liver problems. Most of the calcium in the body is utilized by the bones and teeth. However, it is also involved in the blood clotting process, in nerve and muscle stimulation, parathyroid hormone functions, and the metabolism of vitamin D. To function properly along with the high phosphorus content in meat, calcium must be accompanied by magnesium, boron, copper, molybdenum, potassium, sulfur, zinc, and vitamins A, B6, D, and E. Salmon or small fish oil can provide vitamins D, E, and K. The necessary trace minerals and other vitamins are already in the raw cat food. Calcium must be supplemented in raw food for cats unless you are feeding whole prey, bone-in meats, or a ground diet with bone in the mix. What about calcium supplements? Calcium supplements can be used if you are feeding meat without the bone, but it is not the first choice. Real bones contain much more than just calcium. Trace minerals, along with cartilage that is connected to the bone, add to the complex nutrients real bone provides. And then this article was written by Dr. Guillermo Diaz and family, including their 4 dogs, Leroy, Zika, Moza, and Peppa, and 6 cats, Michelina, Tigger, Vladimir, Yellow, Mongo, and Cherusa, moved to Buenos Aires, Argentina in July 2017, where he expects to continue supporting different animal rescue groups, spreading the benefit of raw food for cats and dogs, and writes articles about nutrition. All right. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed tonight's story time about raw cat food nutrition with our lovely, lovely girl, Smooshy. Give him a good, pretty look. Look at that face. So gorgeous. Good night.